The episode starts with everyone successfully completing the dam, and not just any dam, a fully working hydroelectric dam. Seeing this, Chrome gets extremely surprised because now they are finally generating electricity on a massive scale. Chrome says that earlier they had to work incredibly hard just to generate a tiny amount of electricity, but now they'll be able to produce huge amounts of power so easily. Senku thanks Ruri's team for working tirelessly for so long to make this project successful. Kohaku also says that they'll definitely need more manpower because their mission is way too huge. Senku replies that this is exactly why they are planning to revive even more people from stone. After that, we see many people getting revived from stone and becoming human again, while the members of the Kingdom of Science welcome them. Gen starts explaining Senku's story to all the newly revived people, how a mysterious device turned all of humanity into stone, and how there's a Y-Man on the moon. That's why they are building a rocket so they can eventually travel there. To do that, they need to gather materials and continue building advanced technology. While Gen is telling the story, Chelsea and Nanami are standing nearby. Nanami says that if they want to lead such a huge number of people toward one goal, then they'll have to connect with them emotionally. That's why Gen is telling everyone this story. Nanami then says they need something called entertainment media, a medium that can unite people together. Even in today's world, entertainment is what keeps everyone connected. The others ask what entertainment media actually means. Nanami explains that the more people there are, the harder it becomes to maintain order, and every person needs motivation to keep moving forward. That's why they'll use entertainment media so everyone thinks in the same direction and works toward the same goal. Sai says he understands exactly what his brother means. He explains that people can't move forward without happiness or enjoyment in their hearts. He used to play video games all the time before humanity was petrified. Nanami says he's talking about something even bigger than that. Whoever controls the media can control society itself. In the old days, there were TV stations, then streaming platforms, and later search engines. Ukyo jokes that Sai and Nanami don't even look like brothers. After that, Sai and Senku work together and create a television. Senku explains that they had already made cathode ray tubes while building radar, and if you move vertical beams correctly, images can be formed on a screen. Francois also mentions that the world's first TV was created in Japan. Everyone is shocked that they've recreated television from scratch. Yo then asks how many channels the TV can show, leaving Senku speechless for a second. Senku says that even though they built a TV, there are no TV stations left in this world. The moment is pretty funny. Senku says they won't be showing TV shows on it, but Nanami hints that something from America is arriving soon, pointing towards Sai. Then we see a massive shipment labeled Cell 9000. Taiju wonders if they've built something huge. Inside are tons of wires and thousands of tiny magnetic donut-shaped parts. Senku explains that this is the CPU, the brain of the machine. He starts describing its specs: 16-bit processing, running at 60 Hz kilohertz, 129 memory units, 512 kilobits of memory, and 60 KB RAM equivalent storage. Most people get completely confused hearing all these technical details, but Sai becomes extremely excited because he says these specs are comparable to a Nintendo console. They've finally built a real computer. Now, they already have a TV and a CPU. Senku explains that coding will still be difficult because they'll be using punch cards, meaning the machine can only read holes punched into paper. Gen asks if those punched paper sheets will somehow create video games. Yo can't believe these people are already thinking about games in the middle of such an important mission. Sai immediately starts punching holes into paper and basically begins coding. Then they connect everything to electricity generated by the dam, and finally the TV screen turns on. On the screen, Sai is playing Tetris. Yo gets super excited seeing this. Sai says the game he just made is incredibly simple and can be created with only a single line of code. He claims he can create games like this in no time. Nanami praises him, and soon Sai creates several more games. The audience watching them becomes really happy and entertained. Later, Sai and Nanami are shown playing chess, both on a physical board and digitally on the screen. Nanami seems to lose because Sai has created a chess AI capable of calculating moves far ahead. Sai explains that before humanity was petrified, there was once a legendary chess champion named Kasparov who fought against the AI Deep Blue in a historic human versus computer match. Sai explains that during the match, around the 60th move, the AI attacked the queen, but it turned out to be a trap prepared by humanity's greatest chess player. Deep Blue then went into deep calculation mode and made a strange pawn move that initially looked terrible. However, it was actually a brilliant move no human could have predicted. Sai says that was the moment science gave humanity something completely beyond imagination. Nanami becomes fascinated by this and says he wants to understand things beyond human limits too. Science itself has now become Nanami's greatest greed and ambition. Nanami also points out that Y-Man must have created the petrification device using science as well. After that, we see Senku and the others experimenting with Medusa, the petrification device. They're trying to find ways to make it usable for longer periods. Once the experiment ends, they lock Medusa away safely again. Yo says they probably don't need to worry because nobody can accidentally activate Medusa by shouting commands from far away. Gen explains that the device shouldn't activate from such a distance anyway. But suddenly, when they approach the chamber containing Medusa, they hear strange clicking noises coming from inside. Everyone Everyone gets nervous and moves closer to inspect it. Before they can react, Medusa suddenly emits light on its own. Jen and Yo instantly begin turning back into stone. Everyone panics. Kohaku and Chrome also notice the situation from afar. Back near Senku and Nanami, they quickly calculate that the petrification beam's radius is increasing with its speed, but according to their estimates, it should only reach about 20 meters. They move back just in time and survive, while only Jen and Yo get petrified again. Fortunately, they're restored soon afterward. When they inspect Medusa, they discover that its protective case is broken. At first, Yo becomes suspicious, but Jen insists they didn't touch anything. He says they only heard a strange sound, then glass breaking, and suddenly Medusa activated. Jen theorizes that someone may have activated the device long ago using a timer. Everyone becomes shocked and starts asking questions about who could have done this and why. Chrome points out another huge problem. Even if they reach the moon, how will they know where Y-Man is hiding? For safety reasons, they remove Medusa's battery so it can't activate again. Jen then asks Ukyo if he tampered with Medusa while transporting it from America, but Ukyo denies it. Chelsea suggests that someone might have set a timer months ago. The terrifying part is that everyone here is supposed to be allies, so who could possibly be responsible? After thinking deeply about everything, Senku travels to another region of Japan and collects selenium along with several other chemicals. Using them, he creates a special type of glass capable of converting light into electrical signals. Finally, Senku creates a camera. The camera is meant to monitor Medusa constantly, but Nanami already has another brilliant idea in mind. He takes the camera to America and organizes the first baseball match between Japan and the USA, broadcasting it live. People become incredibly excited, and society slowly starts uniting through media and entertainment. Soon, many channels begin appearing, and Kohaku's village even gets its own studio. Jen jokes that Nanami has officially become a media tycoon. Then, Senku reveals the real purpose of the camera technology. He explains that currently they can't properly observe the moon's surface from Earth, no matter how powerful a telescope they build. But if they observe it from space, they can. That's why Senku now plans to build a satellite. The satellite will capture images of the moon's surface from space and send the signals back to Earth, allowing them to locate Y-Man's exact position on the moon. Only then will they be able to land at the correct location and finally confront Y-Man. And with Senku announcing the creation of a satellite, the episode comes to an end.